אוקיי. פרק שישי, משנה א'. שני שעירי יום הכיפורים. We're going to the goats of Yom Kippur. Because we only did the one. We don't know about the other one yet. שאחד מהם להשם. One of them we know what to do with it already. It goes to God. ואחד לעזאזל. And the other one goes to עזאזל. כמו ששנינו. מצוותן לכתחילה. It says they should be done. This is the way it should be done. How? שיהיו שניהם שווים במראה. They should be both look the same. Not white and one black. בצבע שניהם לבנים או שניהם שחורים. You want two whites or two blacks, whichever one you want.
בשביל זה כתוב שני שעירים.
We'll see. We'll see.
למה צריך שניים? לא צריך. רבים. אוקיי.
ובקומה, בגובה שלהם, they also need to be in the height too, the same. ובדמים, and in the price, they need to be the same. במחיר, שיהיו שניהם שווים. ובלקיחתן כאחד, and you have to buy them at the same time. So there's 4 things. They need to have the same color, same height, same price, and same time. שמצוותה לקנותם בבת אחת. It's a mitzvah to buy them at one time. בגמרא מבואר הטעם, the Gemara writes the reason for it, exactly like what you said, because when it comes to the seirim, it says 3 times שני הסeirim. So 3 times, the 3 things you need to learn from it. Where does it say 3 times? The first time it says, ומאת הדת בני ישראל ייקח שני שעירי עזים. It says, from the Jewish nation you should take 2 goats. That's the first one. Second time, ולקח את שתי השעירים. It says, you should take the 2 goats. And the third time, ונתן אהרון על שני השעירים הגורלות. And Aaron put on the 2 goats the lots. וכיוון שבכל הפסוקים הללו יכול היה לומר שעירים, and you don't need to put שני שעירים, you can just put שעירים בלבד, שמיעוט שעירים 2, that when you say שעירים it means 2, it's plural, והרי נאמר בהם אחד להשם ואחד לעזאזל, and you already know one for God and one for לעזאזל, ונמצא שתיבת שני מיותרת בכולם, so every time it says שני you don't need it. ולפיכך דורשים שמצוותם, so therefore we learn 4 things for him. What are the 4 things? Number 1, that they have to look the same. Number 2, they have to have the same height, comma. Number 3, damim, they have to have the same price. ולבקחתם כאחד. And that you have to buy them at the same time. שני הדברים האחרונים שקולים הם. When you say in money they have to be the same, and you have to take them at the same time, it's the same thing. It's not 2 different things. Why is it the same thing? Because the market goes up and down. If you take them, even if it's for $5, this costs $5 and the other costs $5, and it wasn't in the same day, it's not the same worth because the market is all the time moving. Yeah. So you need to. That's how you learn both things. Same price and same time. שני הדברים האחרונים שקולים הם ששניהם דברים שחוץ לגופם. Okay. So this is what's the way it's supposed to be done. What happened if it wasn't done this way? ואף על פי שאין שווים, but even though that in one case they were not equal, שאין השעירים שווים. They're not equal. One is fat, one is thin. כשרים בדיעבד. It says you shouldn't do it, but if you did it, it's still kosher. Why? Because שנאמר והקריב אהרון את השעיר אשר עלה עליו גורל להשם. Because it says, and Aaron brought the goat that was with the lots of God, והשעיר אשר עליו גורל לעזאזל יעמוד חי. And the שעיר that is going to go to עזאזל is going to stand alive. והרי התיבות השעיר והשעיר מיותרות הן. You don't need the שעיר, the שעיר. We know what the subject is when we're talking about it. אלא שבהם הם לרבות. So why does it say again שעיר twice? שבדיעבד יכולים להיות שעירים איזה שהם, אפילו אינם שווים. We learn, the Gemara learns from it that the שעירים can be, even if they're not, it should be the equal, but if they're not equal, it's still okay. וכן, אם לקח אחד היום ואחד למחר. And also, if he bought one today and one tomorrow. לאחר זמן, כשרים, they're still kosher. בדיעבד, not לכתחילה, but... שכן מה שדרשו שיהיו שווים ונגרחים כאחד, אינו אלא למצווה לכתחילה. It's only the best way to do the mitzvah. אבל לא לעכב, but it doesn't ruin the whole commandment. What happens? מת אחד מהם. You took 2 goats and one died. מן השעירים, אם עד שלא הגריל מת. So let's say two things. If it was before the lottery, he died, before the lottery. אם מת השעיר לפני הגרלה, ייקח זוג לשני. It's not a problem. It's before the lottery. You don't know who is who. Take another one. looks the same, and you're allowed to take another one, as we said now. And you have to, because you have to. Seir echad lezugו לשני. You have to take a match for the other one. שהרי אין לקיחתם כאחד מעכבת, כמו שדיבר עליו נעיל. Like it says, it should be together, but if it's not together, it's not the end of the world. ואם, but what, you know what the problem is? What happened if one died after the lottery? ואם שהגריל מת, but if one dies after the lottery, ואם מת אחד מהסעירים לאחר ההגרלה, now you cannot just take a match, because this is the one. What do you mean? So now you have to start from the beginning. You're going to take another two. יביא זוג אחר. You'll have to bring another pair. שני שעירים אחרים. You have to bring another pair. ויגריל עליהם בתחילה. And you're going to make another lottery. ויאמר, and then you have to say, with the new pair, אם של שמת, if the one for God died, in other words, the one is supposed to be for sacrifice, if that died, זה שעלה עליו הגורל להשם, בהגרלה החדשה, this the one that became the lot for God in the new lottery, יתקיים תחתיו. We're going to, this one will be instead of that one. תחת השעיר שמת, it will be underneath the one that died. ואם של עזאזל מת, but what happens if the Azazel died? And the same thing. If the Azazel one died, אם השעיר שמת היה של עזאזל, if the שעיר that died was the one who was supposed to go to Azazel, יאמר עכשיו בלשון הזה, then he's going to say, זה שעלה עליו הגורל לעזאזל, בהגרלה החדשה. Okay, so this one, the new lottery, is going to be for that one. יתקיים תחתיו, will be under him, תחת השעיר שמת. והשני שבזוג החדש, שאינו קרוב, now you have a problem though. You have an extra goat, right? You brought two new ones, and you have an extra goat. What do you do with it? Yeah? So either it was for Hashem or for Hazel, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. You have to do something with it. What do you do? It's standing alive now. It has to die. What do we do with it? הואיל והשעיר שנשאר חי מן הזוג הראשון קרב, אם הוא של השם, או משתלח, אם הוא של עזאזל, because one of them is for sure alive now, either it is God's or it's עזאזל, לפי שאין בעל החיים נידחים. So because there's a problem, there's some things we can exchange one for another, but this is a live thing. You can exchange it after the fact, for one meat for another meat, after it's dead. But it's alive, you cannot exchange. So what do? יראה עד שיסתאב. You have a problem with it, it's true. So you have to take him to the, you cannot do anything with it. It was designated for either this or that. So you have to take him to pasture. That's right. He has to go out to pasture, and when it becomes blemished, then we can do something with it. יראה עד שיסתאב, שיפול במום, and then וימכר. Then you sell it, when it has a blemish, ויפלו דמיו לנדבה, and take the money for the, again, for the בית המקדש, for the temple. לשופר שבמקדתיו, שמיועדיו מיועדות לעולות נדבה בזמן שהמזבח בדל. Like we learned before, you take that money for when the altar is not working, this is the one to put it on top. ואין דינו של השעיר כדין חטאת. And says, why? You're not allowed to do that. Because we said that this is a sin offering. As a sin offering cannot exchange to a nedava offering. So what do? It says, no, we're not going to consider the sin offering. שנתכפרו בעליה באחרת. It's not that. מי שהפריש חטאתו ועבדה, for example, a person that set aside a goat, and then it got lost for a sin offering, והקריב אחרת תחתיה, and then he brought another goat for it, ואחר כך נמצא ראשון, and then he found the first goat. What does he do? שדינה במיתה, over there he says, sin offering, you need to kill it. You don't let it go. היינו שסוגרים אותה ברפת ומונעים מן המזון עד שמתה ברעב. It says you have to kill it, not with a knife, but let it die. שאין חטאת ציבור מתה, because it's a difference. Over here, it's a sin offering for an individual. Over here, it's a sin offering for congregation. שדין חטאת המתה אינה לה בחטאת של יחיד, because that sin, even though it's a sin offering, it's only for individual. Over here we're talking about שעיר יום הכיפורים, חטאות הציבור הן, their community sin offerings. Like it says, ומאת דעת בני ישראל ייקח 12 עזים לחטאת. It says it has to be taken from a communal Jewish nation. ואין חטאת ציבור מתה. And the rule is that the sin offering of the congregation does not die. אלא רואה עד שתסתאב. So it's not a sin offering exactly, nor that it is a nedava. You're right. It's in between somewhere. Okay. Rabbi Yehuda says, no, I disagree. Tamut. It says, no, it should die just like the sin offering. אף חטאת הציבור שנתכפר הציבור באחרת. It says, also the sin offering of the congregation that you brought another one instead, דינה שתמות, כמו חטאת יחיד שנתכפרו עליה. It says, I don't agree that a congregational sin offering is different than individual sin offering. It says, it should die just like this individual sin offering. כלומר, שלדעת רבי יהודה מתכפרים הציבור בזוג האחר שמביא. According to Rabbi Yehuda, the real ones are the second lottery, not the first lottery, according to Rabbi Yehuda. והשעיר החי שנשאר מהזוג הראשון, דינו כדין חטאת המתה. And the first one is a sin offering that died, כמו שהמשנה מוסיפה ללמד. ועוד אמר רבי יהודה, and Rabbi Yehuda says continuously, and he can say, נשפך הדם של השעיר שנשחט. Says, what happens? You slaughter in the goat. This is the goat for God. And then the blood was poured out. קודם שגמר הכהן הגדול את כל הזהות. Before the high priest finished all the sprinkling. והוא הדין, אם מת השעיר קודם שנשחט. And this is the same rule, if the goat died before the slaughtering, ימות המשתלח. He says, then I don't have a pair for the other guy. I cannot bring another pair and do it underneath him. No, you're going to kill the one to the Azazel. You're not going to bring another one and make him exchange it. He says, go bring 2 more pairs and kill this one. Not like the other one says, take him to the... שלדעת רבי יהודה, בעלי חיים נידחים. Oh, where is the argument? According to Rabbi Yehuda, you can exchange a live animal for another live animal. The Chachamim says you can't exchange a live animal to another. He says you can exchange. Who told you can exchange? Okay. וכיוון שצריך לשחוט שעיר אחד כדי להביא דמו ולעשות ממנו תרומת מתנות, and since you need to bring another goat because one of them died, כמו ששינו במשנה הקודמת, like we learned before, הרי אי אפשר בלא הגרלה, you need to make another lottery. לפיכך יביא זוג אחר ויגריל למתחילה. Therefore you have to bring another pair and exchange the live one for this live one. והמשתלח הראשון ימות, and then kill the Azazel one. מת המשתלח, what happens if the Azazel died? קודם שנגמרו הזעות, before the sprinkling, מדמו של השעיר השליחות, ישפך הדם. Now you're stuck, you cannot continue. You cannot continue with the one to the God because the other one is dead, he doesn't have a pair. So you're in the middle though, and somebody tells you, hey, you can't continue now because it's like a minion left. You know, it's like you don't have a minion. You don't have the goat. You cannot continue your job. So what does he do? You got to pour out the blood of the first one, of the goat, of the sprinkling blood, ויביא זוג אחר, bring another pair, ויגריל עליהם בתחילה, make another lottery, ויעשה במצוותיו, and start from the beginning. And don't worry about the other one. You can exchange a life for a life, don't worry. שנאמר, והשעיר אשר עלה עליו הגורל לעזאזל, יעמוד חי לפני השם לכפר עליו. It says in the goat that went on it, the lottery to Azazel, is going to stand alive before God to atone. ודרשו, עד מתי הוא זקוק להיות חי? It says, until when does he need to be alive? עד שעת מתן הדמים של חברו, until you finished all the blood for the other ones. אבל אם מת קודם לכן, but if he died before that, אין כפרת אדן כלום. You didn't do anything. The blood didn't do it. He needs a pair. Yeah? Just like the Kohen Gadol needs to be married. He needs a pair. If he doesn't have a pair, all the Kohen Gadol is no good. It's no good. Same thing. If this goat doesn't have a pair, the whole thing is not good. הילקח ישפך הדם ויביא זוג אחר. Therefore, everything you did, pour onto the ground and make the whole thing from the beginning. ואומנם דין זה הוא לדברי הכל. And the truth is, this is according to everybody, not according to only רבי יהודה. שהכל בוטים בשחוטים שנידחים. Everybody says that after the fact, after the slaughter, yeah, you can exchange. You can exchange. Because they died, so you can exchange. Even according to the Tanakama, you can exchange. It's that. Yeah. אבל לבעלי חיים, but if it's a live animal, אין הלכה כדברי רבי יהודה. It's not like רבי יהודה, אלא כתנקמה, שאין בעלי חיים נידחים. It says if the animal is alive and it's kosher, you cannot just push him away. It's still a sacrifice, it's still Azazel, but we're going to wait until it's not going to become Azazel until he has a blemish.